Hey, everybody. Welcome to the ROG, the Real Estate Old Guy. Craig Lerch, disrupting real estate, delivering empowering experiences. We are live today with an awesome couple. I am so excited. We are with Stacie and Bruno, the dream team #1, coming from out of Philly and also Cape Coral, Florida. And they also do business in New Jersey. One of the great ideas that we're going to be discussing today is balance of life, and also being able to work together as couples, and also being in the real estate business. But there's going to be one big part. They focus 70% of their life on living of their dreams and their focuses, and 30% on the rest of it that funds it. So we're going to have a great time today. We're going to ask a lot of questions. Bruno and Stacie are actually sharing all their friends. So if you're all coming in from Bruno and Stacie's place, thanks for joining, everybody. We're excited. We're going to be together for the next half hour, 40 minutes. Again, if you have any questions, I think you have to identify that you want to be, the questions that come up. Alyssa's in the background. She'll be able to help also. So at this point, hey, Bruno, you ready to unmic? You ready to say hi?
We're ready.
All right.
We're ready. We're all shared on each of our pages. So hopefully all of our friends and family, whoever's available, can check us out and meet this famous Craig Lerch as well.
Oh, please. This is all fun. I've known Stacie forever in real estate. Bruno has been a treat to meet through their marriage over the past 6 years. One of the things that I love is how they took some of the ideas of Bruno and the energy and real estate background of Stacie and made this megalopolis. I know it's not really a world, but it is really a megalopolis. And I've had a lot of fun spending time with you. I mean, one of the nice things about you guys is you're real people. You're absolutely real. What you say is what you mean, and how you act, and how your character, the true things that are there. So welcome. Give me a little bit of an idea of how this crazy team of real estate started, because I know Bruno didn't do real estate in the beginning.
So I'll start off, and then Bruno can finish up. I had already been in real estate for about 3.5 years, and Bruno was in IT securities for a long portion of his life. Also bar owner, pool hall owners for years and years. Always involved in the real estate industry, but never had a license to sell it. So we were talking as his business started to slow up a little bit, and I was getting busier. I had just thrown out the idea, have you ever decided to maybe get your real estate license? I know that I want to start a team at some point, and now that I'm hitting a certain volume and it's getting a little too overwhelming for me to handle all aspects of it, I could use somebody to help me out. So I said something to him, and he said, "Oh God, I haven't been in real estate for so long. I haven't been in school for so long." I said, "Well, I just got my license. If I can get it, you can get it." So I'll let you finish up how you then took the next step.
Hey, everybody. My wife's can you hear me okay, Craig?
Can hear you. You're good, Bruno.
My wife's being
it's us Philly voices.
Yeah, my wife's being a little friendly. I was between jobs, and I'm in my 40s, and in your 40s, you're scared, right? If you're not already locked into something. And I'm watching Stacie do exceptionally well, and taking a test in your mid 40s is certainly not something most of us are accustomed to. It was really hard. And we decided to take a shot at it. And, I've only been an agent 3 years now, Stacie 6. And part of what we want to share is that, if we can do the change in our 40s like we did and close to 50 now, anyone can. And we encourage it. You don't have to stay with the job that you were trained to do for decades. You can make that change if you're not happy.
And it gives you some of the freedom. I like the idea that you came out of cybersecurities, which is like protecting the world. And trust me, everybody, Bruno is not just cybersecurity safety. He is Stacie's bodyguard by life. Trust me, he is totally all of it, brother. I've been out with him. My wife, Linda and I have been out, and they're just enjoyable. They're great people to do it. But as my wife has said, if I worked with Craig all the time, the ROG, I'd kill him. How do you guys deal with it, regardless of any business? You have real estate and you have any other business as a husband and wife partner. How do you guys balance when to shut down, not to shut down, or do you just go at it?
Do you want to take the question
Sure.
first, or?
So we try to tell folks that, real estate's just how we earn a living, right? I think a lot of us growing up, we're trained to, 9 to 5, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, and everything else comes second. Everything else comes after you make your money. And my wife have just been cynical with that process. And, we broke away from the 10 and 20 and 30-year plan. We're 48, and, people said, oh, what are you guys doing when you're 65? I'm 65. That's 15 years from now. So that whole process, we just decided to make sure that individually we're extremely strong, physically, mentally, spiritually. And then we found that real estate became a joy to everybody, right? So it started with us individually, getting better as individuals. And then we were able to make real estate more fun and make it a smaller portion. It's just our job. The relationships is what we love. And then from that, the byproduct is money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Stacie, you ended that?
Yeah, and the way that we started out, because I was used to doing all of the work between buyers and sellers and everything in between. And so, that becomes a little taxing as you get busier and busier. So when Bruno decided to make the plunge, he took over the whole buyer side of aspects of things. I was handling primarily the sellers. We're still going on showings together, still involved with it, but so we could kind of streamline our own practices and give better service so people aren't confused as to who's doing what. So our clients really appreciate, I think, a lot of the husband-wife team, because we really delve in. We give 150%. So we're always available. So the 30% is, just a small byproduct because we are around all the time. So we are... So we balanced that out very nicely, and we found that a lot of clients appreciate that, because we streamline how we operate our business, and so there's no misconceptions as to who's doing what or any kind of confusion. And it's made the process very easy for our buyers and sellers, very enjoyable. We make the process fun. It's buying a house should be a good thing, and selling a house and moving on to your next venture should also be fun. So we're finding that the more relationships we built are long lasting. We still get together with clients. We still, travel around to wherever they're at, and they come to us, and that's what keeps the relationships going. And that's what's also given us more referral business present and hopefully in the future.
Excuse me, Craig. I wanted to talk. I think people are having a hard time connecting. Really? We have about 15 people texting us, and I looked on our other phone and it's saying content not available.
I don't know. Alyssa, can you check on that back there?
Yeah, we have the only people on are me and Stacie.
Oh, I don't know. Alyssa, can you try to check on that? All right. Well, we got Alyssa checking on that. We'll keep going with the conversation. Our worst is, hey, everybody, it's been taped. Because we're going live, it's going to be regenerated out there. And apologize if there were any hiccups as the process goes. Going back to where you guys were saying, the process. How did you define each strength or each weakness? Because you used to run it all, Stace. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, Bruno's going to do this. How did you guys decide who's on first and what's on second?
Really just based off of, I thought Bruno coming into it was really the first type of process that I worked on the buyer side of things, taking leads, going through the initial questions for the buyers and getting them set up and pre-approved and things like that, and just finding and learning some background information on that type of thing. So I learned that first when I was starting out, and I thought that if Bruno could take over that portion of what I was doing, and he could take over the Zillow leads and the phone calls coming through and do the screening process, that would give him some initial experience on the buyer side. And I thought that was a good place for him to start. And as it turns out, he loves it, loves doing all that type of stuff. So it ended up being a nice blend for us. I didn't know if it was going to work, if it wasn't going to work, but it turned out that he loves it. So. Love searching for houses. Loves finding the perfect place for
Bruno,
people.
you're more the analytical one.
I like being on the computer. I am on the computer for a lot of hours when Stacie's writing contracts. We're checking different areas, checking different zip codes, checking different states. We are getting ready. I think you're going to touch on it a little bit to do some new things. And again, we like to get back to being cynical, on this podcast. If anybody listens in, be cynical of the retirement. And this is just opinion, folks. This isn't financial advice or, this is, just some of the things that we adhere to. When we were growing up, you work until you're 65, you put a little money away until that happens. Then you retire, you get 10 good years if you're lucky by God, and you're taught that, everything bases on your work. And I don't believe that, we're Roman Catholic, so we just didn't adhere to the fact that God, and, whoever you believe in, God wanted you to work 60 hours a week, barely see your family, not be that healthy, not like what you do for a living. Then 60 years later, it's time for you, for yourself, for a little bit of time, for whatever's left. We just think that you should be more cynical than that and look at your position as we all get closer to 50 and or 60 and say, if we work from 20 to 50, you had 3 decades, 30 years.
Yeah.
And we look at that and say, how did we not all do a little better? It's because I think we follow people to tell you, hey, leave your money in the stock market. It's down today. Leave it there for 15 years. It'll come back. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but think about it before you just do it, that kind of stuff.
Just because it's the same doesn't mean it's right. Just like traditional worlds are not the same. Like, you're doing business in 3 different states from Florida right now when you're half the time up here in Philly and Jersey and then half the time down there. I'm all over in real estate too. And the craziest part is we've changed or really broken the ice globe or broken the snow globe that says, okay, the world is no longer our zip code. The world is our country or our world. And that's how, we've all thought, but we all think about this comfort zone of what we've been told or what our parents were. Let's call it through tradition.
Correct.
We've traditionally been told this and things of that nature. So, and it makes it really, holding down. We've talked about that before. It's the crabs. Yeah. Everybody wants to hold you because they don't want to change.
Yeah, and with that, Craig, and again, these are no slights at what people did for many, many years. It's just how many of our friends are teachers and union folks, they're blessed. Some of them have $300,000 to $1 million in their IRAs after breaking their hands and minds for decades. And we say, look, there's $600,000 there. Give me and Stacie 20% down on something and let us show you a little different idea. I'm not saying take all your retirement away, but let's diversify and show you a little bit of the Airbnb model or a rental model, an investment model. We just want everyone to be cynical and to continue to try different things. We don't have to. These cell phones right here, these phones, you can find out the answer to anything in seconds. Mm-hmm. When we were young, we had the Webster's Dictionary. How about real estate agents 15 years ago? Craig, you were one of them. You didn't have
33 years ago.
You didn't have. Did you have Waze? Did you have Google Maps?
No, you drove with a map.
You had church bulletins. You had circulars. You had door knocking. And now when I see, and again, this is just us, when I see mastermind situations where people are saying, "Oh my God, how many cold calls did you make? How many doors did you knock on?" For us, there's just a lot of technology and a lot of ways you can network today and get into the future of finance, and that's what we do.
And the last couple of years have shown just that. We can work anywhere. Zoom and virtual talks like this has become a lot more popular. So you can lend yourself to be working in several different states at once. I have to congratulate our team, the Dream Team 1, because, we have a very good, solid 100% team that not only, supports us in our day-to-day living, but when we're not in Pennsylvania, they're in Pennsylvania. They are in New Jersey. We have help everywhere. So our team, and then we're in Florida right now, but we can still list houses. We still have our support system, we still went under contract in 3 days for a listing that we put up live, and our group rallied around and got involved. And that's what I think, really sets us apart from some other folks. And having that support system around us and really good talent is key. And it allows us to be on shows with you, Craig, and some other podcasts in the past that we have. And just really spreading the nice life balance that people can and should deserve.
Absolutely. One of the things that you guys have been really good at, and we're going to get into your visions of the future in a minute, but when you were building your winning team, there was something that I actually saw come out this morning from Alexis Bowen, and I had to share. And I was reading this thing, and I'm like, man, this is Stacie and Bruno. They get it. They got it. I know that a lot of people talk about it, but they get it. They got it. They said the 7 C's of building a winning team. Think about this. What's your number one? Coaching. Okay,
Yes.
Stacie, Bruno, you guys coach all day long.
Yes.
And then character was number 2. You guys don't say something that you're not. You guys show your true character, which is huge. And by the way, I see Coy Vickers is saying hi. I see a couple other people are saying hi on Facebook. Thanks for checking in on us, everybody.
All right, go.
Can you ask him how he found the link, Craig?
Hey, Coy, how'd you find the link? It should be out there. It should be in the Facebook Live, hopefully.
Maybe
it should be in my Facebook somewhere. But the third one that was out there is communication. We've talked about how you guys communicate. How do you communicate with your team? Do you communicate? And again, everybody, this isn't just for real estate. Let's say you have another business. Let's say you have a plumbing business. Let's say you have an insurance business. Let's take this to another animal. Stacie and Bruno just chose the widget to be real estate.
Right.
So how do you communicate with your team? Do you have a standard meetings? What do you do on some of it?
Communication is key in any relationship, not just your personal relationship, but with any business relationship. So we are in constant contact with our team members, seeing what they're up to, seeing what they're doing to build their brand, getting that motivational, especially for the new agents, right? We're in a transitioning market right now, keeping them motivated, keeping the conversation going on a daily basis. If they have any questions besides the Zoom calls and the training sessions that we're on, we are here all day, every day for our team. So I find that communication, and I've said this numerous times, whether you're in a transaction, transparency and communication is the absolute key if you want to be successful. And it's one of the most key ingredients that I find, that as long as you have good communication, you can propel yourself further.
Yeah, and on that, Craig, Stacie gave the exact answer for communication. But again, it always starts with me and Stacie, right? People see how explosive our communication is. We're very honest with each other in public and private. We're not different in public and private. So when we're communicating, it's always crystal clear with maximum kindness and maximum respect to one another. Mm-hmm. And again, we always start, and you gave the 7 lists. The first C would have been chemistry for us, right? Our chemistry is what created our brand of love and kindness and respect. And I think that when you see us and the way we interact, it's not just about how awesome it is for me and how awesome it is for my wife, but it's meeting folks like you. It's meeting folks like Alexis Bowen, our friend Chad, who just came online.
Thanks, Chad.
We met Chad through Facebook. He does the Be Kind show. He's helping us with some lending packages. I mean, it all starts with you. And I want to just carry that on. I didn't get married till I was 44, I guess. I wasn't ready for my queen yet. I wasn't ready mentally. I wasn't ready physically. I wasn't ready financially, none of it. You have to be ready personally before you can, he's using my words, be savage, and be savage about your love. It starts right here. And then you can see the reaction of people around you. And that makes good communication.
That's what becomes the most infectious. And you have the same style, Craig.
You and Linda.
You and Linda have such a tight bond, and I've known you for years. And I love the way you guys interact with each other, and you have a great marriage for it.
We going to put a couple plugs. we just got done a couple times listening to the book Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. Again, I keep using the word cynical. Guys, for everyone listening, I know a lot of people like Tony Robbins. They like, Gary Vee and Joe Rogan. And you know what they're all doing? Standing in front of a G6 jet, right? They were tech billionaires and telling us how to work harder. You know who I've learned from? We learned from folks like you, Craig, in the business 30 years. I learned from my wife. I learned from some other top agents, but having these crazy, fantastical mentors isn't reality. We're middle-class folks trying to be upper middle class. I don't want to learn from Joe Rogan. The guy's already got billions. I got to learn from a guy who has hundreds of thousands, right? How did you get there first, right?
Exactly.
And you can listen to people.
You use the word memes.
Yes.
Live your own memes.
Yes.
It took me a couple times on Facebook to figure that out. I'm like, what am I missing? And I finally figured out memes is what? Tell me what the memes are.
So, you see, we have our shirts on. We always talk about, be you, not them, right? Every relationship in your life has to be reciprocal, right? You share a meme from, I don't know, Kobe Bryant or LeBron James or whoever you like, that's their meme, right? I saw a great meme about Michael Jordan took 30,000 shots and he only made 10,000 and they were all winners. Great. That's a great message, but it's not your message, right? So all we always try to say is try to share some of your own memes. I want to see them. My wife wants to see them. I want to see what's in your creativity, what's in your mind. And then Facebook and social media, as Ed Forsyth likes to say, can be a force for good, right? It could be a force for good. It's all about us, right? All the political argument, the sports argument, all that stuff. That's all fine and well. But man, do I love seeing people's thoughts and pictures. We love watching people when they get a new car, their kids graduate high school. This weekend was graduation. It was amazing. We don't even have children. I couldn't write congratulations enough this weekend, right? It's amazing, right?
You guys are always jumping into that. And Stace, going back to this list real quick, I just want to finish it because you guys hit all of them right there when you said something. We talked about communication, and then you guys talked about being something else. But commitment, you guys are all in. You guys are you all the time. You're 100% committed to your team. You're 100% committed to you guys. You're 100% committed to your clients all the time. I love when guys say, or people say, I give 150%. You can only give 100%. You can only do what you can do. The other one is contagious energy. You guys named it. Your energy spills over. You can see it. Even though you're sitting here listening, you can see the smiles in your eyes, which are huge, and I love it. And caring. You always have the hearts going. Your hearts, you literally live your hearts on your sleeve, and you tell everybody, and you're there to help. And then consistency. Those are it. You guys, you go down that list. I saw this thing. I'm like, son of a gun. I said, this is them. This is them. I said, that's where you got to be. If you follow this rule, I mean, you had said it in 4 words. This is 7. It doesn't matter. Just remember the conversation. And you're right about the some of the crazy books. There's the new book that's out, Die with Zero. And it says, try not to run out of your money, but figure out where it's at and use it, because those are it. So there's another book if anybody's looking.
Yeah, I mean, people a lot of times, and this goes for just not real estate, for anybody in their business careers. You save, and I understand you got to, you have to take care of kids and schools and things like that. But a lot of times people forget their own happiness and they save and save and save their entire lives. And then, they don't have much to show for it. Once they're ready to enjoy life, it's shortened up, and there's no reason why. And you named it in your description for this podcast, life and balance. You will probably be a stronger person if you do some more things that are internal for yourself to make yourself better. And it doesn't mean, going on vacations or whatever you time needs, and whatever makes you happy to have some self-awareness for yourself to make you better inside. It will be a twofold for the people that you're working with and your relationships, your friendships, your significant others. It will then fall into place. And I can't stress that enough. I mean, our friends came down, they were selling their house. We went to the beach. We had pictures. We had a great day.
Our clients too.
And they were our clients as well.
And it's their 5th deal with us.
Yeah.
5th.
I mean, it's just, that's what life is about. So no matter how small or big it is, make time for yourself and your family, because it's very important.
We, and everyone listening and that will watch this, we got to a point where as long as the clients got their keys, didn't matter how the road was. They, oh my God, we got the keys.
It's not acceptable.
Customer service in real estate has never been more important than it is today. It isn't just about getting the keys. The road up to it, just saying, oh, well, you got the keys, but, we were fighting every day. The family was miserable. We lost 50 offers. We didn't know how to deal with it. When we sit down with folks, and Stacie, you talked on this the last podcast we were on, and I loved it. When we go to a listing appointment, we don't, we're already there knowing your credit score is somewhere reasonable. You already have 20, 30, 50, 100,000 in the bank. That's nothing to do with the purchase process, right? That's just the questions you get taught in school. Mm-hmm. We ask, is your family ready? Are your children ready? Of course we know the client. We don't just do this on a Zillow call, right? But your family has to be, your house of cards has to be 100%, not just your credit score. That's the smallest part of buying a house. Your family has to be ready to do one of the hardest things, maybe other than give birth, that you're going to be doing. So your whole family has to be on that same page. And we try to help guide people with that so that they understand that, you're getting ready to do the hardest thing there is, and we try to help them with that.
And that comes from your process. And that comes from really your inner self. You've found your inner self, and now what you're doing is you're sharing your inner self outwards, because unless, like you were saying earlier, unless you're clean inside, you can't be clean outside.
And
and as long as it's communication.
All the things are intertwined, because with the communication part of it, as long as you explain the process, and we are very detailed with that, so there's no real surprises, and I think that's what helps the smooth transaction with us, because communication is always there. But our clients are not sitting there hanging, waiting to hear from us and waiting to understand the process. The process is explained to them. They feel comfortable. If they don't, then they have questions, and we're there fully to answer whatever they have on their mind. And I think they appreciate that.
In finance, Craig, and this is something that we will say is more than an opinion. You have to wake up. A lot of my friends and family have heard me say this. You have to wake up at 100%. I don't know what that means for everybody, but let me tell you what it means for us. We wake up to music. We wake up to coffee, maybe with a little Bailey's, maybe not. We wake up to our vitamins. We sit outside for a little bit, and we get ourselves to 100%. Everybody knows the music they love, maybe a little Frank in the morning, God's Country, whatever you like. The reason we say that's so clutch is because we start our day at 100% every day. Then here comes the situations, right? So Stacie gets hit with a clear to close, alter that it didn't come in, or me and her have a disagreement, whatever it is. Now we're at 90%. So we're handling that just fine. Another problem, we're at 85%. We're good. Now, for years ago, when I would start my day at 60%, barely getting out of bed, barely happy to get anything. Now you get some trouble. You're at 50%. Now you're at 45%. Now you're angry, and now it's only 12 o'clock in the afternoon. It's clutch that you find your morning zen, and you don't have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to find it. It's up to you. You have to find what works for you. You cannot allow people on the news and people that did it before you to tell you what's good for you. Be you, not them. Be you, not them. We can't stress that enough to folks. And you're never too young to make the change. You're never too young. I've been in real estate just over 3 years. And we made those changes.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I know we've always talked about when we were together, especially with Lynn and stuff, it's hard enough being you, let alone somebody else. So stop trying to do it, number one.
That's right.
But you guys are really also focused into what we were talking about the other day. I call it feng shui stuff. You call it your earthly elements. You always surround yourself with your earthly elements. You have your was it your water, your fire,
Mhm.
touch
The
on
five
base
senses.
then. And look,
There
this
you
is
go.
for everybody. I know you guys got these Philly raspy voice guys going that are
I
getting
love
like,
that you hear that. That's great.
see,
Craig.
they're all hearing us saying, hold on, these guys
The
got
five
feng
senses,
shui.
right? God gave us five senses. How many times a day do you use your five senses? When we get home from a hard day's of work, and if you're lucky enough to have a hot tub or a pool, or it doesn't have to be that, but
Get a bucket of water.
we'll light a candle. Again, the music, some strawberries, some sound, some touch. Get those five senses attuned all the time as much as you can. Even if you're in the car, open the window, the music, spray something that's nice, and you're going to see a drug fill your mind. You have to use your five senses. God didn't give you three; He gave you five. What are we doing? What are we doing? It's an easy fix. You could start tomorrow. It doesn't cost $1.
No, it's a mindset. Stace, I mean, Linda, and she's very strong in things. I mean, she used to say, "Hey, go out the door and come back in a different channel."
Right.
That channel and change it.
Exactly.
Because guess what? If I don't, she ain't going to be there next time. So, and you know what? I can't be a king without my queen, and she's the best. All right, Stacie, you're the best with Bruno. I know we've got our own, but you got to understand that it's clicking that thing that all your stuff coming into the next zone with other people.
Right.
You take your this is perfect with being a husband and wife team. You have your work stress out there, but at some point you click. When you're coming into the house, the kids want to hug you and kiss you. And if you have them, your dogs, your family, whatever it may be, you got to be able to click. What are those routines to help you click? Which is exactly what you said, Bruno. It can be put the window down. I don't care if you're in, South Dakota and it's freezing cold in Fargo. Get the cold air when you spray some. Wake up before you go to your next step,
Yeah, if you carry that on too much, obviously other people can sense that. So your body language is one major key, right? You walk into the house, like you said, and the other person can tell right away if you're off, if you had a good day, if you had a bad day. So the fact is, look, everybody's not going to have the best of all days. We all have stress. We all have, high intense positions here and in other positions as well. So it's very important that you know how to decrease that stress or eliminate it to the point where you're not carrying it on for a certain amount of time, because stress is a killer and you don't want that. Get rid of it. So use those other avenues, whatever it may be, yoga, walking, biking, whatever it is. Take some of that time to alleviate those problems that may carry into, your night, which you don't want to ruin.
And just for the record, Craig, for a lot of our colleagues and friends that watch us on Facebook, that's that. And not that I explain this, I don't explain our Facebook, but one of our most popular posts in the last, 2 to 4 weeks was we did a public picture of us praying, right? Of us holding hands and praying. And that was one of our most popular posts, right? Not the drone videos, not the big houses, that one. And it was a simple picture, right? We try to put things on Facebook, and I don't want this to be insulting or come off wrong, but to show people it's okay, right? It's okay to be you, not them, right? Like we lost this feeling of self-worth. And the reason we put all our stuff on Facebook is, again, because of me and Stacie from Mayfair and Port Richmond can have properties in multiple states and move across multiple states. So can everyone if they want to, and that's why we put it up there, because I think people watch us and they say, man, we can do that too, and we want people to call us and talk about it. We love it. We love sharing the story, and we want people to live their best lives. And I know that's a cliche, but we're doing it, and we don't make any more or less money than most people watching the program today.
The difference is you have your commitment. You're full blown in there. Let's talk about something. You guys have some exciting stuff coming up. I know we're going to come in the next 10, 15 minutes to the end of this, but you guys got some exciting stuff coming up in the next 3 to 5 months. And I know that we're not letting it all out. But the bottom line is we're going to do a little teaser for everybody, right? So you want to give some teases to everybody and we can have some fun with it. And if not, I'll back it all up and say, no, you're not allowed to do it.
Right. Yeah.
So what Chad's referring with Chad, I see Chad, we love you, bro. Chad is another. It's
And
just,
he's not a hanging Chad.
no, definitely not a hanging Chad. John Duffin, another great kid. These are all people that recently come into our life through social media. Amazing folks. So we're doing some new branding, and our goal this year is going to be probably upwards of 50 referrals. We're going to try to push to 100 referrals all over the country. We're working on becoming a nationwide brand. We want to be able to help people get outside their box. So we are starting to reach out into more states: Tennessee, Texas, a little bit of South Carolina, certainly New York, and setting up just a huge base of partners, so that when our friends from Pennsylvania and New Jersey call us, we can help them anywhere in the country, maybe even in the world as we continue to grow, because Stacie already did a deal with Israel and dealt with the embassies and things like that. So we just want people to know that with the new branding is going to become a lot more options other than just local real estate. Right?
Yeah. And
it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
The team and us are going to, do some commercial work and things like that to launch that in the near future. So in July, we will be completing all of those tasks, and it should be really fun. Brand new look, brand new everything. And
don't give it all away.
And the team is.
No, you're not changing your hair, are you, Bruno?
Nope.
I was going to shave it.
But the team is really excited, and this is the first time that we've gotten everybody together at the same time finally. And we thought no better time like the present to, just get everybody out there and do our thing.
It's been a hard couple of years for everyone. And
absolutely,
we want just something fresh and new. And we want to show everyone again, no matter how hard things have been, this real estate community, the lenders, the title, on and on, the inspectors, we do not get paid and we do not complete our process without all of us getting it done together. Craig, you're with EXP. We're with Home Smart Realty. We just had lunch with Keller Williams the other day in Venice. And I don't care what your broker is. We love that you're with other brokers. That's great. But we'll be your first call, and we promise we will give you the same services we do Home Smart agents. We love working with other brokerages. We invite it. I wish we could have one giant brokerage and just help clients forever.
Yeah.
And that's the building the relationships. I mean,
right.
And a lot of people that I've had on here, I think maybe one of them has been EXP. I used to be my own. It's just an animal that fits me. It doesn't fit. Not everything's right for everybody. Right. Everything is their own thing. But the point is when you get to a certain point of building respect through social media, yes, going to national conferences are one thing, but you can really, between TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, really do it. Bruno, you touched on something. This is a computer. We're blessed. These things used to be $67. They're now $1,300 to $1,500. You can FaceTime with anybody anywhere. You can call your clients. You have no excuse not to FaceTime a client and have a conversation. You have no excuse not to talk to your teammates, except the excuse is you.
It doesn't make sense to continue to use these platforms to argue about politics and sports. It just doesn't make any sense to us. We have very strong political feelings, very strong, just like everyone else does, and religious. But there are feelings, we're not trying to cascade what we believe or think is right, wrong, or indifferent.
And we don't even post it because we don't believe in that. So what we're trying to use the social media platforms for is to spreading love and happiness and business intertwined with that, and to show people that you can work from anywhere. You have your phones, you can FaceTime. I mean, these last 2 years, there's been a lot of bad and there's been a lot of good. If you utilize the time wisely, this is why you're at EXP. This is why you're on Zoom calls. This is why you have your own podcast now. These are avenues that if you took the right approach and you use your time wisely to grow in a different direction, because again, we had a transition from 2 years. Pennsylvania was shut down, right? So what are we going to do? We came to Florida. We thought, hey, let's explore another state and let's see if we can conquer that too, and expose ourselves to yet a third state. And that really came to fruition from that. So social media, if used in the right way, can be very powerful for people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You used a word that was very good earlier, and I want to bring it back up. We're also talking about a recession. We're all talking about shifts. We're all talking about an SE market, a poopy market, and all that stuff. I've called it a new market. You use it as a transitional market.
Mhm.
There's nothing negative. A market's a market, and that's huge. It's not so much what you say, it's how you say it and the verbiage. Like I was telling people, yes, don't jump off the roof. There's no
Yeah.
reason to jump off the roof. This is life. The alternative's really bad when you're pushing the grass versus cutting the grass. You know what I mean?
On that thought, Craig, and again, this is all opinion, guys. I don't want anybody to run out and sell stocks or do anything. That's not the point of the conversation. But I can't hear one more analyst from Fox News or MSNBC or whoever you watch, doesn't matter, tell you, hey, you guys lost 50% of your IRA today. Don't worry. In 13 years, you'll have it all back. I mean, I'm not saying sell or buy. I'm just saying read. I'm just saying look into it. I'm just saying I'm 48. If I just lost 50% of my portfolio, do I want to wait until I'm 58 to break even again? It's an open-ended question, but ask it. Ask these questions of your advisors. Ask them of people that know a little more than you. We're all reading the same newspapers, and they just lead you right into catastrophe. Take care of yourself. Do your own research. Look up your own stuff. And Google is not research. You have to go to news channels, not opinion pages, and do your own stuff. My wife and I, went heavily to cash position because we're experts in we like to believe we're experts in real estate. So we're getting ready to do some more real estate work. It's not for everybody, but we lost in the stock market like a lot of people did. And we want to protect ourselves with what we know. Just do your own research and question everything before you just lock money away for 10 years and you're 50. There could be other short-term answers that might work better for your situation.
You're saying living curiosity versus just the judgment that's out there in a lot of
I mean, people have IRAs and they think they're safe forever. And then they're 70 and they don't know where it went.
Right.
You just mentioned IRAs, and just as a plug to help you, hey, if anybody wants to buy any investment real estate between Bruno and Stacie, myself, whatever, there's more than enough for all of us. And anybody on the show that is a realtor, tell your people this. You can actually buy with your 401k. As long as you have a third party managing. So you can pull your money out of the stock market or wherever it's at and buy real estate, defer all the income in that to that special account and not touch it to your retirement account. If you need more information on that, reach out to Bruno and Stacie. Reach out to me.
We have people that do it. We had some folks that did pull some money out because it wasn't making as much as what some of the real estate reward was in the Airbnb model. So instead of having a stagnant amount of money just sitting there, we put some of it to work and it came back in full fold for them. They've already tripled their money. So that was just within a year. So it's just another option.
Just another leg.
Transitioning into markets. If you're in real estate for a long time, you will, if you're successful, see and go through several transitions. It doesn't mean that it's bad or good. It means that you just think outside your box and work with your co-partners, your house inspectors, your financial advisors, your lenders, right? Think of creative packages. We are doing this in order to overcome the transition and teach our team the same ways in order to be still successful through transitioning market.
And Craig, if we can leave anybody with anything today, it really is 70% Stacie and I and our family and 30% work if it's that high. And it's from chemistry. And I say this all the time, she laughs, love making, it's kissing. You can look around and you can see who's happily married and who's not. I mean, it doesn't take much. And some people are together 20, 30, 40 years and you look and go, relight that flame. If the C word taught us anything, the pandemic, it taught us how fragile everything really is. And now you get the chance to reset right now. Go home and kiss your wife. Go home and dip her. Go home and do things that you just didn't do and restart again. You're getting that chance right now today. And I promise you're going to see an instant change in your vibe. Like attracts like, right? Positive attracts positive, negative attracts negative. These are basic cliches, right?
Yep. One of the things you and I've said when we're out, and I actually use it more often now. We all use this line, hey, so-and-so is my better half. And you and I actually said at one time, Linda's not my better half. Linda is my whole half. She is my whole. I can't be me without her. I'm blessed to have her, going on 35 years together and 32 married in October. But you know what? All those things life's not easy. Business isn't easy. Your situation is there's days you want to almost strangle each other, but at the end of the day, guess what? You still give each other a hug and a kiss. You still say, I love you. Point is, Mike, you don't know what God's going to do for you tomorrow. If you're living with God's hand open and he's saying, I'm in your, he's in control of me. Yeah. If I live it that he's in control, then I'm going to less that one stress on me.
Craig, I can look just in your face right now and tell you're a happily married man. It's that simple. And I've been around people that I can say, well, they just get along. How many times you hear, oh, they're great partners? Well, then be partners, then just be partners and move on physically, You
don't have to be married. We're talking about significant others. We're talking about all that
correct,
stuff.
Absolutely correct. And you can tell how strong your marriage is just by your demeanor.
Yeah. So in closing, and let's do this. If you had to give both of you separately, not together, a tidbit of a turning point that you think could really have a profound impact on somebody, to say, wow, this was an awesome 45 minutes. This really was a true point. Maybe something vulnerable about you, maybe whatever it may be. What do you want to share in a final thought to somebody individually?
Something that I'm vulnerable.
No, whatever it may be. If you had an inspiring, a real in a finishing mindset that you want to share, other than what we said, what would you like to say?
A lot of people laugh at me. Not laugh. They laugh along with me with the word savage, and I talk about. And Craig, I said this right to your face in person. Yeah. I think cavemen had a lot of things right. Right, men were put on the earth to protect and hunt, right? And they made love to their women, and I talk like that because it's true. Women took care of their families. Women are nurturers. They take care of everything. Our job is to make sure they are protected. That's it. And it just doesn't mean a bar fight. It means mentally. It means flip the wash. It means whatever you have to do to make their day better. That's, we don't have spears and we're not throwing bow and arrows at animals these days, but I'll flip the wash when my wife's busy. I'll do whatever it takes to protect her while she's working hard. And there's no line I won't cross to make sure that she's happy, from folding clothes to opening the car door. I open the car door 95% of the time for my wife, every time. And if a girl's in the back seat, I open it for her too. We have to get back to chivalry. We have to get back to a respect for one another. And it starts with the man. It does not start with the woman. Men be men. And I'm going to leave it right there. Be savage.
There you go. I love that. You do have your lion on in a lot of your T-shirts too, and you're free. There you go. Stace, what do you want to share?
Well, I think from being in the corporate world for a very long time, 25 years, I didn't get the opportunity to do what we do now, and to actually, it was on the grind all the time. And what I would say to people is, find your happiness wherever that may be, and then use those 7 touches that Alexis was so kindly to share, because I think all of them, if you mix all of them into your daily living, you will find that your life is a lot happier, a lot easier. And try to be more positive, right? There's a lot of negativity out there, and it just doesn't work for people. So try to reverse that type of stuff and do something that's more positive for yourself. Be more self-aware, because without Bruno always quotes the great Dr. Phil, but you cannot give what you don't have. And it doesn't necessarily be money. It's empathy, compassion, whatever that is. So if you're not good with yourself inside, that will bleed out to your family, your friends, your colleagues,
your social media,
and your social media. Mm-hmm. So I would just say, just take care of yourselves and do something that's good for you, because life isn't guaranteed day by day. We're on God's timer.
Very nice.
There you go. There you go. Hey, everybody, I want to thank you for coming. All of Bruno and Stacie's following. I love you guys. Bruno's teaching me this. I got to figure out how to do it a little better.
Okay, Craig, we're heading off to Miami for Stacie's birthday. So next time, the next live video will be on South Beach.
There you go. You're going to do that. And I can't wait to see you guys when you're up here in July for Stacie's birthday. Because I can't wait to get a physical hug from you guys.
We miss
Love
you and Linda, and we'll definitely see you when we're up.
Hey, everybody. Keep following the ROG. Keep following Stacie and Bruno. Follow us back and forth. They're awesome. I always learn from them daily. I also love being in their energy. They're great people. God bless you all.
Thank you for having us. We're
Thank you very much,
honored.
Craig.
It's a pleasure. See y'all. Have a great day.
You too.